Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the show here. Shit, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, how's it going? I don't know if you can see me or not. I was going to take the SS for a ride. I actually had some time in my hands. Yeah, doesn't look like that's going to happen. So maybe we'll do something else today, like put the suspension in and lower the car, all right? Stay tuned. Hey, we tried, all right? Thanks for watching. Woo, get a boat. Folks, we are back. I am drier than the intro. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was actually back from like, I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks ago when I was going to try to actually work on the car. And I mean, it was like clockwork. Like every other day it was raining, huge storms, and just so happened to really not be paying attention, grabbed the camera, figured, all right, I'll start working on the car. I go out and it's monsooning. So that's New Jersey for you. But yeah, I've just been enjoying the SS. It's, you know, now that I actually have a chance, it's kind of weird that I want to even do this, and I may delay it, so we'll see. But I mean, as you can see, she's looking good. I detailed it up real nice. It's not perfect, but I'm really happy with it. I'm going to do a video on what I do for detailing, but wheels are fixed. She's looking pretty, but as you can tell by early on in the video, I have a few toys. I've been a little busy. We'll call it maybe Project 9s or bust. But I do not know if I'm going to do it before the showdown, but there are plenty of things that I want to do in the meantime. I may just want to enjoy the car and then work on it over the winter when it's, you know, not as easy to drive the car when it's ice cold out. But, you know what? Let me introduce you to some of the new toys. Some of you may recognize this. This is a Camaro SS rear end, limited slip. It is 327 gear ratio, which is the same as what I already have in my SS. But this is beefier. There's more parts readily available. And I got this for a song off of Evil Bay. And it'll go real nicely with something else I introduced in the video, which is this Speedmaster limited slip differential, which is actually like a worm gear style versus a plate style. Whereas like your normal, like your traditional Richmond gears, like all your GM gears, so if you're a muscle car guy like this GTO, this Cutlass, even though it doesn't have a rear in it anymore, but, you know, this has a 12-bolt GM rear in it. This had a 10-bolt that was built, Grand National rear. Both were a plate style, which allows a lot of adjustability between the sides. However, the worm gear style is a bit stronger and dirt cheap, like really cheap. So, I'm very excited because I got that. Had some friends at Rock Auto send me some toys along with it. Got the cover gasket. And we're going to go to town. I'm going to show you how to swap this over. It is pretty straightforward. I'm not saying that what I do is necessarily the right way to do it, but I've talked to several other folks who have also recommended this to me. I think it's a very easy way to do it. Oh, and by the way, you can pick this up on SS Only's website. So SS Only, actually, I'm sorry. So same guy, Joe LaBruzza, awesome guy, insanely fast shipping. But this is on his G8 Only website. So I'll actually put the whole link in the description and, just below this. But you can get this off his site. There's plenty there. I think it showed up. I want to say it showed up in less than 5 days. I think it was maybe 3 days it showed up. But I ordered a ton of stuff at one time, so it was kind of like losing track of what was showing up when. Because with COVID, shipping is a total, pretty much disaster. What they tell you may or may not work. I had some things that said that it wasn't going to ship for 2 weeks, showed up literally in 2 days. So, it is what it is. I'm trying to get stuff in. I may get it in before the showdown. I don't know if I want to start tearing into it, maybe not get things done. So we'll see. But, what am I doing here? All right, so you're seeing a lot of crap here. I'm going to do a video that talks about, what we actually do on this differential, what happens. I've got the bearings in here. I've got seals, all that good stuff. You can see I started tearing in this a little bit. I actually have, so Speedmaster supplies the what they call the torque worm differential, and I actually got their cover, and through the help of some other folks, they told me, what I have to do to modify it. Very simple. There's like a very large fillet in here, probably from casting, that you have to grind back a little because it interferes with some other suspension components. But we're going to put this guy together. That'll be another video. You can see I already started like messing around trying to measure, the backlash, which, spoiler, did mention. It's great. Really feel happy about this. So it should be a very easy swap. Over here, you can see, I've got new bushings. That'll be a hack job taking it out of that. Basically drill the crap out of it. And then, so essentially drill the crap out of these guys with a hole saw and then hammer the rest of it out. Like maybe cut this metal sleeve and then drag the whole thing out. It doesn't change. Same stuff, different day. But also, this guy right here. So what is that? I'm not taking it out of the box just yet, but you may have a good idea of what the heck that is. That is a DSS one-piece carbon fiber drive shaft. Not cheap, but for what I need to do, I needed more power handling. The two-piece drive shaft is getting to that level where it's dangerous. So, you basically just keep replacing the weakest part of the drivetrain, right? So, SS's, and big thanks to Jay Posner just talking through this type of stuff with me. He's been extremely helpful on, what's a good plan of attack for this without killing the bank. I'm breaking it a little bit, but I'm not like, I'm giving it a proper burial. I'm not like strangling it out and then dumping it into a river. But the SS axles, if you guys are familiar, are pretty strong in this car. They're beefier. So I'm going to leave them alone. I can get a bunch of them. Like, people are always selling them online. So I'm kind of going to collect them. The rear is one of those grenading items, and the drive shaft. And if that two-piece drive shaft goes, it's going to take out a lot of other stuff underneath there. Whereas with a carbon fiber drive shaft, if it explodes, it's a feathery, like kind of wispy, mess of fiber. It doesn't really damage a lot of stuff. There still is the likelihood that I could break it. A lot of people are telling me, why don't you go with the Koza one piece? At this point, maybe I should have. But for now, I want to take a little bit of weight out. I want to see if I can really just eke out the time slip. So like I said, this is Project 9s excuse me. Oh man, fat guy Burke. Sorry about that. 9s or bust. So I'm leaving the LSA converter in it. It hits the drivetrain really hard. So, I mean, at some point, we are going to upgrade this converter to something that is a little bit easier on the drivetrain. But for now, I'm leaving it in there. It works. I'm figuring out how to launch it really well. So we're doing one-piece carbon fiber drive shaft. Told you about the rear. Keeping the axles. So what else am I doing? So you can see I got my ARP bolts. I'm sorry, ARP studs for this car. Got these from SS Only as well. So I'm going to yank the heads off of it. I've got the various and sundry gaskets. So I got my LS9 gaskets, and I got to replace the exhaust gases. So I figure once I tear into this thing, I'm just going to kind of drop the exhaust and we'll do the rear and we'll do the heads at the same time, because once I do this, I don't feel like going up and down a million times with this. At some point, I should actually be smart and actually get a lift in this joint. But for right now, I really do like to work on stuff like a normal guy. Now, granted, I'm very lucky. I got a small house, but my garage is about the size of my house. And I purposely did this because I never thought I would get married. And then I met someone who was equally as insane as me. So she puts up with all my BS, but I'm very lucky to have this garage to be able to keep the cars in and work on them. So I'm going to work on my back. I'll show you guys how I do it, jack things up off the ground and get down to business. So let's see, where the hell was I? I'm rambling now. So yeah, studs, gaskets. I got a few other gaskets, like just various stuff. I got like the new, like most people don't have to change the supercharger gaskets. I may or may not. Once we pull it all, I'll take a look at it. It's been recommended to me again by Jay. This is the one that's that big orange one that goes between the lid and the blower itself. I'm replacing that because there's a lot of heat there. It stretches out. So I recommend you do the same. I'm looking around. I got shite everywhere. Okay. So why am I doing all this if the car hasn't exploded yet? Because I have another wee little toy right here. So this right here, you may have seen it in the intro, is from DSX Tuning, okay? Right now, I have a 2.50 upper pulley and a 8.255 inch lower pulley. That is essentially what is considered a 5% overdrive for the LSA when all else is the same. So in my case, I did 250, obviously a lower upper pulley, so there is more boost. I'm running somewhere in like the 12 to 13 pounds of boost area. Depending on the calculators that you use, some people use Weapon X's website. Some folks, there's a few, man, I'm trying to remember which ones I've used in the past, but there's quite a few that just get your boost calculators. This is somewhere in that like 16, we'll say 15 to 18% overdrive area. So this pulley is a 9.06 inch from DSX Tuning. They make beautiful stuff. I got a lot of it on my car already. The auxiliary fuel pump and their E85 conversion, flex fuel sensor. So this is like the 9.1, right? So a 250 9.1. We're somewhere in, oh crap, stepped on stuff there. 250 9.1, we're somewhere around, say like we'll just say 18%, 15 to 18%. So I will probably be somewhere in that 15 pounds to 16 pounds of boost. Somewhere in there. We'll find out once I actually start logging it. But now you're starting to do some, you're starting to move some air in there, and there'll be more heat. I've got the ice tank. I am not going to actually keep that arrangement, so I'm going to keep the 8.25 lower, and I'm going to keep the belt and everything, because all I have to do to switch it back, I got this. I got to get a new belt. Once I do everything else, I'm going to put it back onto this setup, and this is the setup that I will normally drive. This thing is reliable as hell. I love it. However, my quote-unquote kill setup for this to get that 9-second time slip, or what I think will be, I'm really shooting for like a 970 time slip, is going to be going with the 9.1 lower pulley. Some other things, I've got some extra tools that I purchased recently as well. Harbor Freight, Chinesium material. I wouldn't recommend it for super reliable tools, although I've had a lot of luck with it. They had a insane sale this past weekend, so I had to do it. But I got a few extra tools that I needed to do to just do a job more proficiently. You can never have enough good tools, but in this case, I have some tools. So I'm going to use them, and I'm going to be, when I put the rear in, I'm going to have access to the springs back there, all right? And if you guys are familiar with doing that, I'll video that as a separate thing, but doing the springs on these cars is actually really not that bad. It's just the damn wiring when they pass it through the upper housing, like I'll call it the upper spring pocket. For some asinine reason, they do it that way. So you got to depin it, pull it through, put the spring on, repin it, or put everything back together, repin it, and then jab it back in. But I've got under that box, like right there, a set of King SSL springs that I've had for damn near, I want to say almost 3 years, maybe. Definitely since late 2018. Definitely another fat guy burp there. Sorry about that. So it was like 2018, 2019. So for now, I'm going to enjoy the car. I'm going to kind of stage everything. And then eventually, when it gets to a point, maybe after the showdown, I'll tear this guy down and you'll see what I'm doing. But, I'm going to do the heads, studs, all that good stuff. You're going to see it. Next up we're going to start working on this rear. I appreciate you guys watching. Big announcement. If you haven't, you've really been following, I reached 1,000 subscribers. So I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, there was a real big push at the end, and I have some really awesome friends in the whole community who pushed me over the hump. Because I was actually, YouTube Partner Program was going to drop me because I did not have enough subscribers. And, if I'm making 10 cents a month, I don't want to be in a review for 6 months before I can become part of the program again. So, I also have a couple of things I'm not going to really bring up just yet because I want it to be more of a surprise at the showdown, but I'm going to be doing a lot of video coverage this time. I may not even run. I may not even run at this. I may actually drive this car there and actually enjoy the car show portion of it more. Do a lot of video and pictures. There's some folks that I'm actually going to highlight on the channel. We're going to start, I've mentioned this before, I'm going to start interviewing people on the channel. So I've got 3 people lined up minimum, maybe 4th person. So you'll start seeing those intermixed between the normal updates. But guys, again, thank you so much. I never thought I'd get to 1,000. You got to start somewhere, right? But I'm going to keep trying to update a little bit more frequently. I know I've said it a lot. It's been very rough few months at work. So I appreciate you guys hanging in here. Thanks for watching, and more cool stuff to come, all right? Take care.